Give it up for your host. I'm a dick. I just don't use his name. I did it on purpose. I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Let you guys decide whether you like me or not. I caused the pandemic. It was me. I did it. It was me solely. That's how self-centered I am. It was me. I did it. I did comedy for 10 years and worked full-time the whole time, right? Like, just driving from Pocatello, Idaho to work in the morning. I put in the grind. I was like, 2020, it's going to be my year. It's going to be my year. It's going to be a big year. Saved up money all 2019. Quit my job December 31st. Walked out like a gangster, just like tumbleweed going by. Like, fuck you, I'm going to be a comic full-time. It was fine. December, January were cool, you know. Then February came, and I booked out my whole year. And then all of my gigs in 2 days got canceled. 2 days. It's the closest I'll ever feel to being Louis C.K. I was like, I didn't even touch anybody. I didn't touch one goddamn person, and you took all of my gigs away. This is how that happened. You got to see who people really are during the pandemic, though, right? And also, side note, my conspiracy theory that I'm spreading is that who really caused the pandemic, if it was somebody, it was all of the porn websites and all the streaming websites, right? Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix, XNXX, Xvideos, Pornhub. I love who laughs at that joke. You get hee hee. They all got together and had a meeting, and they're like, if we create some sort of super virus, they're gonna go through all of the free content within the first couple months, right? They're gonna pay $10 a month for the weirder shit. Let's just do this. And that's who caused the pandemic. You're welcome. You heard it here at Helium, Portland, Oregon. I figured it out. It was me. Okay, but yeah, you did get to see who people really were during the pandemic. Did you guys go to any, like, you hit a point where you gotta leave your house, right? Anybody go to any underground dinner parties where they're like, don't post anything about this online, right? And you go, and you feel like you're having unprotected sex. That's kind of hot. You're like, oh, I'm gonna take it off. I'm sitting down though. We're not gonna get sick. It's fine. Just take it off. So I went, and I got some comic friends that are, I'm 41. I hang out with a lot of people that are way too young for me to be hanging out with, but I'm a comic, so it's fine. We were hanging out, and even younger, a gaggle, I guess. I was for a gaggle. 2 couples of beautiful people walked in. These people were like, I'm going to talk about the beauty spectrum later, but they were very tall, beautiful people, and they had their masks on the whole time, which I totally respect. I get it. Maybe you got old parents. I don't know. Maybe your body's great, but your lungs are janky. I have no idea. It's your choice. So they have their masks on the whole time, but then people start drinking, and people start getting a little bit more drunk, and then they saddle up to everybody hangs out in the kitchen, no matter who you are, right? Hang around the island in the kitchen, and it's all marbly. And what do they pull out? They pull out a big bag of cocaine, because that's what you do around big islands and kitchens. And I don't, because I'm allergic to aspirin, which sounds so dorky, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, I would, but I don't think you could afford good cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what you're saying. I did a lot of drugs growing up. I smoked crack on accident once, because I thought it was methamphetamines, but it was the 90s. And it was a different time, you know? I was indignant. I was like, I don't do cocaine. That's what you call white trash privilege. So they pull out this bag of Coke, and I'm watching them. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna watch you guys do this. What's going on over here? Hi. Oh, they're just ordering shit. Now I'm the asshole. Drinks! Drinks! You're pretty when you're quiet. Okay, so... Just kidding. Just fucking with you, I'm sorry. So they pull out this big bag of Coke, and I'm watching them, and they line it all up, and then they pulled out a $10 bill and start rolling up this $10 bill. And there's an old, see, one person knows where I'm going with this. There's an old saying, and it's kind of a douchey saying, but they say, if you don't have a $100 bill to snort cocaine through, you shouldn't be doing cocaine, because when your cocaine's gone, what do you want to do? More cocaine, and if you have a $10 bill, you're not gonna do any more cocaine. So they roll up this grimy $10 bill, and I'm like, oh, dude, they've been wearing their mask. They're not gonna. There's no way. First one pulls down the mask, snorts that through that dirty ass $10 bill that's just been in pockets and hands and wherever, puts her mask back up, hands that $10 bill that was just, they do the test. Here, this is where they do the test. Hands it to the next person, pulls down their mask, sticks that $10 bill up there, does that cocaine. And I was like, nobody else is seeing this? It's so fun to feel like the smartest person in the whole room. You're like, I'm not wearing a mask, but you guys are fucking idiots. I haven't seen him since. Don't know what happened. Anybody else get a little, dude, there was nothing, dude, I'm not gonna talk about the pandemic the whole time, but come on, what else, I don't have anything else to talk about, that's all I've been doing, right? Like it's it. They're like, have you been writing? And I'm like, no, because I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything. I do observational comedy, and I've been observing everything on Netflix, everything, I have seen it all. So, I joined the gym right before the pandemic, all right? If you guys joined the gym and they bring in like the super hot guy or the super hot girl to upsell you to personal training, or any of you them, all right, let's talk shit about them. So the thing is like there was nothing else to do. I feel like the world broke up with me and then said, you stay home and think about it. And my dad's like, I know comedy's not happening. Are you, do you think that, because I was talking, I'm like, dude, I was already chubby when this shit started. Like, you're gonna have to cut a wall in the house. What's gonna happen? Like, I don't know. And he's like, well, you just really need to think about whether you're hungry or whether you're sad. And I said, do I look like I know the difference between those? I didn't even know those were two different emotions. Like, I just thought they were the same thing. I don't know. What's funny is I got really fit in my 20s and my early 30s. I was super fit. I ran a couple marathons. There's usually one guy that laughs at that, and he's a dick. But this was pre-comedy. I mean, they pay us in drinks and fried food, you guys. It's like being Amy Winehouse and then being like, well, we don't have any money, but we can give you cocaine and alcohol. Oh, come on. She would have been the funniest for it, right? Like. So I joined the gym. I've done this before. What's funny is when you join the gym, you guys have joined, and they won't let you print out your card online, so you can just like, cool, now I'm a Costco member. You just go in, right? Like you can just scan it. No, you have to go in and have a talk with somebody. And they're beautiful people. Okay, so this is what I was going to talk to you guys about now. Put on your big kid pants, because some of you are in your 20s and you don't think that we're supposed to talk about what people look like. We can see each other. There's a reason male peacocks have beautiful tails. Because it attracts mates. Now, this is a scale. It goes from, you guys are so quiet, you're like, this is going to get weird. It is. It's a scale, it goes from 1 to 10. You have the 1%ers. Now, the ones, we'll get back to them. Over here, well, let's start strong. Let's start with the 10s. Now, as a group, there's 50 of you in here, including the comics. We've maybe met 2 10s. 2. These people are so beautiful. You don't talk to them like this. You talk to them like this, because you don't want them to have to take all this in, right? Like, these are they look like elves from Lord of the Rings. You're just looking at them, you're like, Jesus Christ, are you wearing a filter? Like, oh my God. You're literally glowing. Genetics is the first lottery, you win or lose. I get it now, I get it. And then you have the middle. I saw you guys coming in. This is us, right here. We're right in the middle. We're all still diddling each other, going to work, trying to figure out if it's garbage day or recycle too. You don't know. And then, the ones over here. Now, not in a medical way. I'm not a monster, you guys. I'm just talking about, ones. At your face, you gotta go to work like that. That's like, shit, you guys feel real bad about it, but it's hundreds of years of like failed one-night stands. It's like nobody in their family tree loved each other. And, you guys are very sensitive, buckle up. So, we go over here now. Personal trainers, coming back full circle. Personal trainers are not 10s. Tens are being taken care of by the true financial one percenters. That's why people get rich. If you took away sex, nobody would worry about being rich. So they're not out in the public much. Personal trainers are a 7, solid 8.5, maybe a 9. Maybe a 9, because they were just like the hot trailer park kid, and they needed a job. My guy, his name's Chaz, 2 Z's. Asked him if his name was Charles, Chaz, and he was like, I know it's Chaz. Had no idea that Chaz was short for Charles. Never heard that before in his life. This guy's probably 23. Looks like he shits muscle. Like, just like arms up to here. You know when guys get so buff, all they do is drink protein shakes now. There's no other. I wanted to ask him how he wiped his ass. There's no way he's going over it. Like, there's no way. I did ask him, and he was super offended, but it makes me feel weird. So he gives me the tour. The reason they have you come in to join the gym is because they want to sell you $1,000 in personal training. Now, before I was a comic, I didn't start comedy until late. I started at 30. I had already worked for the 3rd largest bank in the world for 10 years in their credit card services division before the subprime market crashed. Now, people in their 20s, I'm not picking on you, but you can Google that. We were just Vaseline-less, it was bad. I didn't know, because I was 21, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I make $9.34 an hour, but I make $75,000 a year because I'm selling people shit they don't need. We were giving them credit cards with 30% interest and $89 annual fee and being like, oh, we give you a $500,000 home loan. You're going to be fine, buddy. Build your credit up. And I had no idea what this was all about. So the reason I tell you this is because kids don't know how to sell stuff, so you have to put them in very extensive sales classes. And that's what my job did at the bank. They put me through all these sales classes, and now I can smell it on anybody. I know who moved their cheese, give them the pickle, what lens they're gonna sell through, INTFG, all of it. I can smell it on them. And this kid is going through his 10 steps of 24-hour fitness. Sales success. He looks at me, and we're sitting down, and I know what time it is. It's personal trainer time. And he starts doing this like head shaky thing. And I'm like, what is he doing? And I was like, oh shit. You know when it's your dinner time, but not your dog's? And they sit by you and they're like, it was that look, right? And he's so good looking. He's a very good looking guy, but chubby, not ugly. I'm just saying, like, every time I say chubby, not ugly, I think the most unfortunate person in the world to be is the skinny, ugly person. And I'm not gonna bag on ugly people a lot. This is my last one. I'm just saying, if you got a good face, the more you eat, people are creepy and have the internet now, they like feeders, or the more you lose, like your demographic goes up. But if you're skinny, you're ugly, that's it. You better have a skill set. You better be able to change oil or pull a plow. I don't know. Okay. So Chaz and I are sitting there, and he looks at me, and he's ready. He was like, step 1, build rapport. Amanda, what are your fitness goals? Oh, fuck yes. First question, this is gonna be so easy. Chaz is so hot. He's never had to struggle through a Tinder date. He's not gonna get all the jokes. He's never had to be like, what, I'm funny. He's never had to do that. And I look at him and I'm like, Chaz, I want to be in the WNBA. You have to flare your nose so you don't laugh. You're just like gritting your jaws and shit. And he's got nothing. He's looking over his shoulder for help. He leans in. He's like, do you have any other fitness goals? You're right, Chaz. Nobody wants to be in the WNBA. Love this group over here. I want to be an American Ninja Warrior. Are you guys watching this shit? I love it. They don't do it as much as they used to, but they used to do a good montage where they go back to some guy's hometown, and he was like 300 pounds, sitting in a Ford Fiesta with his corgi on the seat. You've had an edible, and he's eating cheeseburgers from somewhere that looks delicious that you've never heard of. What is that? That was so good. He's like crying. Nobody wants to date me. And then they speed it up. They do. He goes to his buddy Hal's house, gets some pallets and some 2x4s. They film him building a parkour gym. Seasons are changing. Corgi's getting grayer. Corgi's like, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. And he does it. Crawling through the mud, crying and stretching and getting like cramps and stuff. And he does it. He becomes 160 pounds of American Ninja wear. You can't do it. I can't do it either. We can't do it. You want to know why? Because number one, we don't have a camera crew following us around. That will keep you honest. God damn it. 2, falling over the age of 25 is devastating. Have you, fit or fat, I don't care who you are, really fall? I'm not like, oh, I stumbled. I'm talking like where you fall, like you feel it. You're like, oh, here it goes, here we go. It's going, it's happening. And then you hit the floor and your parts of your body kind of slap against the floor and you're like, what even was that? And it's devastating. You got to call into work. You're like, I can't come in today. And they're like, you sick? And you're like, no, I fell. And they're old too. They're like, are you okay? And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm not, I fell. When you were a kid, you could fall off a bike and be missing a pinky. Street lights aren't on yet. Like, go about your day, go home without a pinky. Your mom's like, what happened? I fell in the bathtub 2 years ago and I'm still talking about it. It's where this joke's leading. I fell in the bathtub, and I'm still talking about it. You want to know why? Because people fucking die that way. People die and what a shitty, pathetic piece of... That's how you're gonna go out in the bathtub? Somebody had you. Like, they carried you for 9 months. They were somewhat excited to either have you or give you to somebody that wanted. Somehow, something happened. Maybe got you some braces, hopefully some vaccines. You like made it through life. And now, enough to be in a shower. You're in a shower. And you're doing your shower thing, and then you fall. And you die that way, and that's the way. And I'm sorry, somebody's family probably died in the shower here. That's my luck. But fuck them. They should have been more careful. I'm just saying, somebody has to come scoop your fat, wet body up. You're not hot no matter who you are, just all crumpled in the shower, being like, I couldn't do it. Like, and that's how you're gonna go out? No, and that almost happened to me. And I was living in a house with 5 other comedians and a magician. That's where I was in my life. All men. It was one of the glass slidey doors. Why are they still putting those in houses? Those are disgusting. Like, there's no way that rail's ever gonna come clean. Especially if that's a rental. You're stepping over decades of rental pubes. Just know. There's no way. And hey, look at it when you get home. Some of you have them. You're gonna be like, oh shit, there is a little thing that you can't get under. Yeah. So, I was in the shower, and I'm doing the shower thing. And I was like, I do want to change this Maroon 5 song I'm listening to. I don't care. You guys can... Maroon... Songs About Jane was a great album. It was like Jamiroquai light for white people. It was a little jazzy. It's good. So I get out, and I change it to Sunday Morning. Never forget, that's the song I almost died to. And, special now. And then I go to step in, and I high step, and when I do, this foot just goes, and I fall like I don't have arms. No arms. Boom, down. Just no arms. No grabbing anything. Just... boom, down, and I hit my head on the bathtub. Oh, I love a crowd that's conscious. You guys are, this is taking a turn, right? When my head hit the bathtub, it was full force, full body weight. I mean, boom, like just damn. And when it hit, my first thought was, oh, it's made of metal. If I would have died right then, that would have been my last thought. Oh, it's made of metal. Oh my goodness, it's a miracle. I didn't know that they made bathtubs out of metal. I thought in this moment they were made of Formica. Turns out they're not. But I was like, and you're like, how do you know it was made of metal, Amanda? Well, I'll tell you, audience. It was the very specific sound my head made when it hit the bathtub. It was a twang noise. My next thought was, oh my God, that sounded just like a dodgeball. Ugh, I am sorry, people in your 20s, one more time. You guys don't know what that sounds like, and that's why you were, at all my jokes. Anybody over 35, we got hit in the face with a huge rubber ball, and it had ribs on it for nobody's pleasure. Like, had ribs on it. When you hit somebody with it, you were like, oh my God, it sounds amazing. That's why I'm a girl and I get picked third. Yes. Did I mention I was raised by all men? But if you got hit anywhere near your ear, it was like, You go home with ribs on your face. Your mom be like, "You playing dodgeball?" And you're like, "I'm just trying to build up some self-confidence and an opinion so I don't go, at jokes at a comedy club when I'm 25." That made me laugh harder than you guys, and that's so unprofessional. So my next thought wasn't really a thought, it was an emotion, and it was rage. When you're a kid and you hurt yourself, what do? You cry. As an adult, you get fucking mad. You get so mad. It's like when you live with somebody and they leave the cupboard door open, and you come home, and you're like, "What's down here I need?" And you pull it out, and then you stand up, and you hit your head on the corner of that cupboard door, right in the back of your head, and it feels like you got shot, and you instantly turn into the Hulk. Slam that cupboard door 75 times like a payphone in the 80s because you have nothing else to hurt. And they can hear you freaking out, whoever the person, the monster, if you will, that left that cupboard door open. You see them come in and they're like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "No, I'm squeezing away homicide and rage right now. You should go on, get." That's what I was doing, but just naked, canned ham-colored fat baby. Just laying there letting the water run over me. One of the comics that had the bedroom next door, he comes and knocks on the door. And he's like, "Dude, are you okay?" I could hear that all the way in my room. And I was like, "I am fine." And he says, "Cool," because that looked amazing on the cameras. Ha, joke's on him. He died a year later. He was a comic. We have a bunch of them. But he did die too quickly to know if he was joking. So for the next 6 months, I just bathed real slow, trying to find my good angles, and put my Venmo and grease pin up on the wall. And apparently I'm a 10 in Dubai. All right, I'm going to end on this. I got shoulder tapped for weed the other day. Kid asked me if he gave me $20 to buy him a bag of weed in the dispensary. If I brought it back out, he'd give me $20 for my efforts. And I was like, "First of all, I'm not a flight risk. You can give me the 40 now." 2, "How old are you?" And he's like, 16. And I said, "You don't know where to buy weed? You're 16. You can drive a car, but you don't know where to find weed? You know what I was doing when I was 16? Going to the pedophile's house myself to sell him weed. Some 30-year-old dude with a Rush tattoo that never wore a shirt. I went to his house, and I sold him a 2-gram eighth, right? That's what you did." Just saying, us legalizing weed, a side effect that we did not expect is it has made our youth weak. I'm Amanda Arnold. You guys have a good night.